Hey guys and gals, Von Baden back. Today's video is kind of something that I thought was kind of cool. I had seen someone else do, and kind of wanted to go my own route with it. I will leave a link to their video where you can get the template to make this. Granted, I blew mine up bigger than what this printed out at, and we'll get into all that in just a minute. So, what we are making, or what I am making, is something for Halloween. In case you have issues with this in your own neighborhood, squirrels here, no matter what you do to the pumpkins, seem to want to eat the pumpkins. And with the state of the world being the way it is, not real keen on going out in the public for the kids to pick out pumpkins. So, making EVA foam pumpkins. Now, this one is not done. I gotta put a stem in the bottom and then a stem at top. But very easy thing to do. And we'll get to my little added twist on this at the end of the video. So this is almost done. I need to go through, like I said, I need to put stem in the bottom, the little flat stem, and then a little curly stem. I'll be using some of these half dowels and probably 4mm foam to make a cylinder, and then do a couple of those half dowels, kind of zigzagging back and forth to add to it to give it a little bit more detail of a stem. This one is glued, but I have some seam issues that I'll be fixing, and I'll go into that in a minute as well. So first things first, template. Granted, I made mine bigger. These are 14-inch long slats. Now, I will give you a few helpful hints as I'm going along. This was the first one that I put together, and you know, pumpkins aren't always 100% beautifully round. You get some that are a little lopsided and whatnot, and that worked for this. But I wanted to see how clean of one I could get. And granted, this one's not done. Right now I've got some kind of weird Pac-Man thing. But anyways, we're not talking about that. I did a little bit different for this one to see what was going to work best. And then the next one, I changed it a little bit more to finally get a better deal for me. So what I did was I took my template, I cut 8 of these out, and there is a, let's see if I can get that on camera, I don't know. There is a 45 beveled edge that goes all the way around the whole thing. Then once you get them all cut out, you put them, you want the inner part of the bevel, so the slant coming in, you want that to the inside, and the longer part of the bevel to the outside. And you're gonna put a little bit of a bend into it to give you a little bit of a shape to it. You could do that with a heat gun, not exactly necessary. Once you've done that to all 8 of them, you glue the seams together on the inside here, so they will end up going together like this, and we'll get to the next step in just a second. So once you glue them together, go through, give this a nice press, and I strongly advise letting them sit and dry before pushing it, because you're going to end up putting a lot of stress on those glued seams. Once you have glued them, then you can pop them out. Now, the other video, if you watch that video, he pops them, he takes them and he pops them like so, and then glues the two together. I tried that on the first one. It works. I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but what I found is a little bit easier for me, it might not be for you, is once you have your canoe here and your canoe here, if you put your glue on that edge and on this edge, put these together, and then let them dry, then you can do a bigger hunk. And that seemed to work a lot better for this one. So once you get these canoes glued together and set, and these canoes together and set, it's better to actually let them dry. I mean, you could do it. I mean, I did mine. I didn't let them dry overnight or anything like that, but I gave them maybe 10-15 minutes, and I have some stress issues on the seams. Can be fixed down the road, but I might not have them if I wasn't trying to rush through and get these together. Granted, I'm doing several of them. I've got 5 of them that I'm working on, so I need to be kind of quick with this. But what I found, one of the very hardest seams to do is when you glue the two halves together on one side, that getting it to go together and then letting it dry is definitely going to be your friend over pushing it too hard and end up dealing with tears. And like I said, you can push through on this first one. Let me put my peepers on. Okay, so it seems there. So on this one, I have a little bit of issues, which I can go back through and hit with my Loctite super glue to close those up. But I'm not worried about that at this point in time. Then once you get it together, and this was the second hardest seam, and this one I messed up on, but I don't know if you could see that this didn't exactly line up, because at that point you're trying to, on this one you're trying to get the seams to hit one another and push it together, and it's a pain in the butt, and it was a lot of pull it back part and then put it back together and pull it back part, but it can be done. So once this is all done, I get all 5 done, then I'm going to paint them pumpkin orange. I'm gonna go for more of a rotted looking pumpkin, and for the fun part is to let your kids come up with their own design. So he does have a few options available to you. I have not cut these down yet, but that can go right on the pumpkin's face if you wanted to do that. So what I'm going to do is take this, and I'm going to get a piece of paper, and I'm going to cut it out to the size of that face, and then I'll let the kids draw whatever face they want on their pumpkin, and from there, depending on if they want to paint it on or if they want it carved out, do either or. Depending on what they decide will depend on if I cut what I cut out of the stencil. Once done with that, you can take and spray the inside black if you want, or depending on what color EVA foam you're using, maybe it's already black, to seal the inside up. You put LED lights into it or whatever, or you can leave it solid and paint your face on there on whatever you decide to do, and let the kids design their own face. Was kind of my thought. Would be kind of cool to add on to this and let the kids do their thing. Once I finish going through and super gluing any issues with seams that are kind of pulling apart. On this one, I got a little couple spots, which not horrible. And then, you know, the shaping isn't too hard to figure out how to fix. You just kind of push and squeeze here and there, and things pop out and realign. You can make it more round if you want. Like I said, that one I wanted it to be kind of not exactly round, so I didn't really work when it was at this point, but to get it to shape more, you push those seams out. Another thing to do is take and, like when you started at the beginning, you took these and kind of bend them. Do that as you're going along gluing, and it does help get things to where they're a little bit more round, a little bit more easier to manipulate and move for you. And have some fun with it, and let the kids have some fun with it. And best part is this pumpkin doesn't rot, and the squirrels don't eat it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I will leave a link down below on this and any other add-ons that I do. I will make sure to leave links or details in the description. If this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this, and I will see you all on the next video. Thanks. Bye. Ooh, pumpkin. I don't know. Sorry. See ya.